Welcome, everyone. Episode 44 of Geeks of the Roundtable. My name is Ren. Welcome to the show. I am accompanied, as always, by my co-host, Zach Pope. How you doing, Zach?
I'm good, man. I literally woke up 10 minutes ago. I've been laying in bed for like the last 30 minutes, and I'm like, man, I gotta get up. And then you sent the invite, and I'm like,
Zow!
I gotta put a hat on and a shirt, and I'm ready to go. So, it's nice. I was telling you that I've been stuck at home quarantining because my whole family's positive, except me. I'm literally the only one that got the negative. So I've been stuck in my room for a week and a half now, which is nice because usually when I get screeners, I like put them off to the last minute. I got nothing else to do now. I literally I got nothing to do. I've watched them all. I've prepped reviews for them. I'm sitting there. I'm like, God, I got nothing. So I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla 24/7.
Still got to start that.
I can't stop playing it.
I love that.
It's the best Assassin's Creed since the Ezio era. Honestly,
oh wow,
I'll throw that out, man. I'm loving it. I love pulling up as a Viking and just saying I'm gonna pillage this whole church and just take everything from it and take it back to my village. It's fun. It's really fun. But I'm excited. We have a great guest today.
We do. The first guest of the year, the first guest in a long time, and the third lady to become a Geek of the Round Table, Tessa Smith of Mama's Geeky. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good, and I got to talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla real quick because that's what I've been playing too, and It's just so much fun. And yesterday I had so much work to do, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna reward myself. If I finish this review, I can play for an hour because it's so good.
See, there
and
you
it's
go.
So fun.
That's how you do it. Do it.
It's right here. I haven't started, but it's right here. I had this before I even had the PS5.
You were ready.
I was, because this is, I think after God of War, this might be my favorite video game franchise. But
really, are you excited
that
they're doing the next Star Wars game though? Ubisoft.
Yes,
so.
I know.
Well, get this. So I pre-ordered it, and then Ubisoft sent me an email that was like, "Here's a code for free," and I was like, "Oh." Great. So then I just gave away the code. Because I was
there you go.
Well, they already bought it. But this is the first Assassin's Creed I've played, actually.
Oh, really?
You haven't played the other ones. Okay,
No.
okay.
Oh. Well, this is a good one, too, because, the story's not... Well, actually, I'm just going to leave it there. Never mind.
Okay.
You should definitely go back and play some of the other ones. Because I don't know how far you are in the story, but, definitely there's stuff that ties in to the other stuff, which I was actually surprised by. They haven't done that in a while, and I was like, "Oh, damn!"
Yeah,
I didn't play the Egypt one, and I was like, "Dang, I probably should have now."
I would fully recommend starting from 2, which is weird because the first one is not good, but then number 2, Brotherhood and Revelations are a great.
Yeah, and they remastered them all too, and they're all So honestly, those ones are great. Black Flag's great. If you want to be a pirate, that one's great. Odyssey was, I really liked Odyssey.
Odyssey is the Greek one,
the last
right?
one, yeah.
Yeah.
The world was just way too big, in my opinion, though. I think Valhalla has the best open world so far because it's big, but it's not intimidating. Where Odyssey, it's you got in a ship, and I'm not joking. It was vast miles and miles of island. It was gigantic.
Yeah. So. I know what you mean. I love an open world, but sometimes it gets overwhelming, like you said. Yeah.
Too much. Yeah. All right. Let's get going to the topics. But first, I want to get something off the top with you guys. I didn't let any of you know in advance. I like to catch you guys by surprise sometimes because this isn't really news. It's just we're fans, we're geeks. We're going to have fun speculating about this because yesterday an interview came out with our High Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige. He was being interviewed about WandaVision, which is coming out tomorrow, which I will be questioning you both about because I hate that you got the episodes that I didn't. But he was being interviewed about WandaVision, and of course he's going to be approached about the Spider-Man rumors and Netflix and whatnot. And he was directly asked if Charlie it wasn't really a question; it was a statement the fans really want to see Charlie back as Daredevil, and Kevin Feige just nodded. He just nodded. Tessa, what do you think this is about?
Well, listen, I've interviewed him a few times, so I kind of try to get his tells. And I was like, all right, so what's he going to do? And I think that I really truly think he's bringing him in at some point. He's not an idiot. He knows people want it. And I always say trust in Kevin. That's what I say about everything.
That's
if something sounds crazy, it just trust in him. He knows what he's doing. It's true.
He hasn't messed up yet.
He hasn't. And it's been a long time he's been in charge, and he hasn't.
Yeah, that's what I tell Ren. Like, I know Ren is very nervous about Spider-Man 3, and I'm like, here's the thing: if it was Sony just doing it, totally understand. But like for me, Kevin has not messed up anything that he's overseen. And like, you know what? Yeah, there are okay MCU films. There are bad MCU films. I won't even go say there's not a bad MCU film. There's okay ones that like I just don't care to rewatch it. But you know what? Like Iron Man 2, I don't like that film that much. My dad absolutely loves Iron Man 2. I cannot tell you why. I have no idea why in the world. My mom and dad love Iron Man 2 and Thor: The Dark World. Cannot tell you why they enjoy watching those films. But they hate Ragnarok. I can't tell you why. But that's what's great about the MCU. Ren, I'm going to tell you right now, Daredevil's in Spider-Man 3. No ifs, ands, and buts. He's in it in a small role. I guarantee it. Just like Jessica Jones going to show up in She-Hulk. And then there's that other interview that came out that he said they're on the table. I mean, all these actors are on the table. And I wouldn't be shocked if we do end up seeing that Luke Cage come back, Mike come back in that role. And I don't remember who plays Iron Fist, but honestly, wouldn't be shocked if we see him come back. Even though I know he wasn't received as well, I think that was more of the material than the actor, in my personal opinion.
I skipped it because I heard such bad things about it.
I'm one of the ones. I put it off for so long, and then I finally watched it. I'm like, this is not that bad.
Really? Maybe I should try.
Yeah. I think there's way worse, but I'm just they'd be dumb. They'd be dumb not to do it. These won't be the same Netflix characters, like the same background, the same everything, but I do believe it'll be the same actor portraying this character just in a different light, just like how we're getting with Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and J.K. Simmons. Why am I blanking on his name? J. Jonah Jameson. So that's the way I view it. And just his silence sitting there, he must have been thinking this is what Tom Holland gets all the time. This is because he had to. Yeah. But Ren, let's question you. What do you think?
I think that if the answer was no, he could very well tell us it was no. Yeah. I also, and this is me reading way too much into it, but I think that the specific question or statement rather that was said was that he was coming back, not coming back for Spider-Man 3, not having a cameo in just coming back in general, bringing Charlie's Daredevil into the MCU. And he also didn't answer that. So maybe he's coming to stay.
I think listen, a lot of people could come to stay. I think that's a smart way to do it. And I don't know what's going to happen with Spider-Man 3, but I know it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be good.
Can we take guesses for each of the main of them? So you have Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. If they were all to show up in one property, let's go through and guess which property you think they would show up within the ones that are already announced. Or if they might get their own show, I don't think they would get their own show. I think they'll show up in something, then come in. But
that's how Marvel does it.
Yeah. So Ren, I'm gonna let you start since you're the main.
Can we repeat? Like, can we put 2 heroes or 3 heroes in the same? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Daredevil, Matt Murdock shows up in. I'm gonna give you a either right now. I'm gonna say either Spider-Man and or She-Hulk. Okay. Jessica Jones, there's a rumor that she shows up in She-Hulk, and I think that's the most fitting thing. Punisher, I think he'd be really good, not for this Spider-Man movie that we're about to have, but in the Spider-Man universe, he'd be the best.
And
or
that's
maybe
how Tom Holland got the role.
Yeah,
that's how Tom Holland got the role. They did their casting together. So
I saw the movie they were cast together. It's not a good movie, but I'm glad for Tom. Who's left? Oh yeah, Heroes for Hire. So I'm thinking either a Heroes for Hire show gets announced and it's Luke Cage and Iron Fist, or Luke Cage also shows up in She-Hulk. And Iron Fist, it's right there. He shows up in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's the one, Shang-Chi. Okay. I think, so Daredevil, I think, is Spider-Man in She-Hulk. Jessica Jones Definitely She-Hulk. We already kind of know that one. Punisher, don't be shocked if you saw him in She-Hulk too. I think She-Hulk's gonna be the one that kind of starts, but also I wouldn't be surprised if She-Hulk or if Punisher showed up in a Moon Knight or a Blade, that more darker sensation. I'm gonna tell you right now, Luke Cage and Deadpool. I think Luke Cage and Deadpool 3. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I could see Mike having a really good I'm not saying it could happen, but like out of all the properties that we know are coming out, I really see Luke Cage working really well. And honestly, I'm gonna throw in even Iron Fist. I think Iron Fist would, because they could make fun of that. Deadpool, you got how many jokes? Hey, aren't you the one with the Rotten Tomato score of like 40%? Something that's just so small because he has the worst one. And it makes fun of it where the audience knows, oh, this is not a character we love, but it brings them into that world. But also those are two characters that I like, but I think when it comes down to the main ones that you come back with, they're not the two that you really look at. I mean, to be honest, everyone's looking at John, Charlie, and Kristen Ritter. Those are the ones I'm looking at. If I had to choose three, and I know a lot of people are like, retire the Punisher character right now. No, give him a show killing a bunch of KKK members, terrorists.
Well, that's why he'd be good in Deadpool.
Yeah. So maybe he shows up in there too. It's very interesting to say the least, and that's what I think's so cool with the Marvel universe. But let's hear yours, Tessa.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you guys. I think Daredevil's for sure. Spider-Man 3. I really do. And probably She-Hulk as well. Of course, Jessica Jones is going to be in She-Hulk. I think that's a given. But now you've got me thinking about people in Daredevil. In Deadpool. I hadn't even considered that. Now, because we just heard that it's going to be that Deadpool is going to be in the MCU, and I could see Iron Fist in that, and I think I could see Punisher in like Moon Knight. Mm-hmm. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Anything could be a Spider-Man villain, or even a She-Hulk villain. I mean, not the first season, but the second season. You never know. Yeah. We also don't know what other shows they're making. We don't know any of that. It's gonna be fun to see how they play around with it.
For sure. All right, let's get into our first official topic, and everyone starts throwing in some questions for us as in the back half of the show. And let's keep on the Marvel realm, because basically today is apart from one, it's a Disney/Marvel show. And we got some news that I really don't care for either way, good or bad. I think Zach is a little bit more invested in me. So I'm going to start with you, Tessa, because I'm curious to know what you think. And that is that Morbius has been pushed back 7 months to October. Now, what do you think of this move? And do you think that Venom is to follow?
I think Venom is probably going to follow. Unfortunately, I get why studios are doing this. They have to, because of the state of the world. I'm not thrilled about it. I love Morbius. I've been super excited for this movie, although it feels like, yes, it kind of does fit in like the October Halloween-y, it feels like if they're going to move it anywhere, at least it kind of fits there. But I'm really excited for this movie. And so every time stuff gets pushed back, I get more upset and more upset. And this one is one I was really looking forward to. And now I just have to wait a little longer, but I keep telling myself, at least it's this year. It didn't get moved to 2022. I guess look on the bright side of things. I hope Venom 2 doesn't follow, but I feel like everything is getting moved. And honestly, I think it depends on how these vaccines go and their studios are going to play by ear. But like here in New York, and I know in most places, I'm not sure if all of California, but most of it, theaters aren't even open. And that's where a lot of critics are. So I know a lot of studios are holding off on stuff too, because they can't even go see movies. So
for sure. How about you, Zach?
Feels weird that they didn't just announce, hey, Venom's moving too, just so you know. I think they're going to try and keep it for now. I think they're going to see how the world is in April. And then I think by April, it's like, it's still not great. They're going to push Venom back. And we'll see not just Venom move, we'll see a lot of stuff move. And that sucks because you know what? I don't love the Morbius trailer, but I'm Morbius curious about this damn film because Vulture. I'm telling you,
Mm.
and I already know I'm gonna be disappointed. It's gonna be the end credit scene. I already know how it's gonna be, and I'm gonna be sad. But I'm curious. I'm interested. I want to see what they are doing with this. I know someone who saw a test screening of it and gave me 2 thumbs up, and he's a picky ass person. So
Wow.
that's a good sign for me. Again, he's picky, and he gets into a lot of those damn things. So, like, yeah. So we'll see. I'm hoping it's great. I hope it's at least fun. And the way that what's his face, Jared Leto was describing it was that it's a fun, kick yourself back, eat popcorn, watch a movie. That's exactly what it looks like. But I also got to say, I think Venom and Morbius, it doesn't matter which one comes out first. I was thinking originally that they both had to be seen Morbius first, then Venom, but it looks like it doesn't matter right now. I think they just want to get the movies out. Mm-hmm. And I think Venom is going to be the one that actually poses a more box office threat than Morbius does. That's my thing. I think Morbius would actually do a lot better on PVOD, like Bloodshot did, than Venom. I think Venom's a film that people want to see in theaters, and it's funny. I remember when that first film came out, everyone was trashing it, but everyone at my work who's not a big Marvel fan or like doesn't watch these films were like, that movie was so good. I want to go see it again. And I know one girl hates the Avengers, hates everything. She saw that film like 4 times in theaters. I cannot tell you why. So I'm excited to see, but the only thing that nervouses me, Spider-Man 3 getting pushed back, man. I cannot wait. I'm just telling you, I can't wait. I need to see what's going on in this movie.
Everybody is going on in that movie.
Yeah. Even I am very afraid for this movie. I don't want it to be delayed, but I'll tell you this right now. The thing I noticed the most about the Morbius trailer, the Morbius move, the delaying, was that they didn't move it to 2022. They want this to come before Spider-Man 3. This and Venom. And I think that is why they didn't move Venom yet. I think like you, Zach, they're going to wait till springtime, maybe early summer. And they're going to see, because the next time they move, I'm betting they probably move all 3 of them. Spider-Man, Venom, Morbius. Because they want those movies. They want Venom and Morbius.
They have more than just those. They have Ghostbusters still. They have a lot of films coming out this year. And if they push it back 1 more year, then everything gets shifted back. Spider-Verse, and I'm going to say this right now, Spider-Verse needs to come out. Like, the second that film's done, that thing, people's brains, like, I think 3 years is max good enough for how long Spider-Verse should take. 3 or 4 years. I think that can stay in the populace's mind. Mm-hmm. But, to a general going audience, they're looking for that next thing. Yeah. So just let's get these out, guys. Like Ghostbusters Afterlife, I mean, there's like 0 talk on that. And that sucks because that's one of my most anticipated films of this year.
Ghostbusters.
Dude, I love that first one so much. And the fact that the son is directing this, it's the only reason I'm really excited for this film. It's the only reason I'm really excited for this film.
Yeah, how about you, Tessa? Are you excited for Ghostbusters?
Yes and no. The trailer looked pretty good. I've been excited for it. I mean, Paul Rudd's in it. How can you not be excited? But I think it's one of those things that's happening with a lot of movies. The longer stuff gets pushed off, I just am like, all right, it'll come out whenever. I try to make myself not be excited because I feel like I'm just going to keep getting disappointed the more stuff gets pushed out. So I'm like, I'll get excited when I know, like, I'm just sitting down to watch it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the same with Black Widow. Like, I've been so excited for that. And now I'm just like, all right, like, is it going to come out or not? We know she's dead. So who cares at this point?
That we know of.
That we know of. True.
We're definitely going to be talking about Black Widow because I already saw at least one question about it in the comments. So let's start with you, Zach, because I don't believe we explained this to Tessa. It just skipped my mind. But at the end of each topic, Tessa, we either knight it or we send it to the dungeon, depending on we liking it or not. So Zach, starting with you, are you knighting or are you throwing the delaying of Morbius once again back to the dungeon?
I'm going to knight it and kind of throw it away because I'm going to knight it for the sake of the film. It's smart what they're doing because, I mean, I live in Arizona. We're #1 in the world for COVID. It's a fucking joke. It's a damn joke. But I'm going to throw it in the dungeon because honestly, PVOD it. If theaters are open, theaters are open. And at this point in state, I don't see the United States going back down into a lockdown like whatsoever. They're rolling out the vaccines. It's going to be more of a get your vaccine type thing. And they're just going to try and go back to our normal world. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that theaters need to be 100% occupancy by March. I know that's what Sony wants, but I think you can slowly start moving it up. It doesn't need to be 25, 30, because honestly, I feel safer in a movie theater. And this is just personally for me. I feel safer in a movie theater than I do going to a mall. I remember I had to go to a mall in December for one thing. I ordered online and they couldn't do curbside for some reason. So I had to go into the store and I literally thought I was going to die. I went home and took like the longest shower and like wanted to burn my clothes because there were so many people there. So I feel more comfortable definitely going to a movie. And I would feel more comfortable going to see Morbius in a theater than at home. That's just how I want to experience every film, because it's hard to watch a film at home and not have distractions, and that's just the truth. So
yeah. Tessa, before you give your verdict, there's also a third option, which is you don't like it enough to knight it, you don't hate it enough to throw it in the dungeon, send it back into the village, and come back with hopefully better news. That's your third option.
Well, then that's the one I'm going to take, because for the same exact reasons, because I get why they're doing it, but like, I want this movie now, you know? I mean, I understand it. Things are horrible here. Theaters aren't even open here in New York. And I know they don't want to encourage people to go to theaters, but also, like Zach said, I feel more comfortable. I went to one theater since all this happened. I happened to be in Florida when New Mutants came out. And so I said, I'm taking advantage. I'm going to see New Mutants. And I felt, now, of course, this was like the first weekend they were open, but there was almost nobody there. Everyone wore their masks the whole time. I mean, they came in with those like, you know, where they can see in the dark, whatever they're called. And we're making sure people were wearing their masks. And someone,
and they're strict.
Yeah.
Every theater I've been to since has been super strict about it. Like, I went and did this Chadwick Boseman whole charity thing where like they had all three of his major films, 42, Get On Up, and Black Panther playing. And me and my girlfriend went and did that. And all the proceeds went to the charity of like his, I don't remember what exactly it was for. It was something that he was like very passionate about, but dude, they were strict. This one guy didn't have a mask on. They walked in, told him you had to wear a mask or leave. Like, if you don't have food in front of you, if you're not eating anything or drinking actively, it's clearly you don't need to be here. So, it's just, you know, they're strict about it, and I like it. It's just, again, if the world doesn't start getting, I really am afraid that movie theaters will not be open by the end of 2021, or they'll be like drive-ins. They're hard to find, and I really don't want that. But
you might be right.
Everyone's looking at the HBO Max deal and being like, "Hey, look at us! These films can still premiere." But then that the Sopranos prequel got pushed back, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm actually going with Tessa here. I'm setting it back because, again, I understand, but I'm also not very excited for the film. My Freddie Mercury pop just fell off. I'm also not very excited. I didn't care for the trailer, even though I love the character. This is what I'm just very indifferent towards, so I'm going to send it back. Hopefully it comes out sooner rather than later. All right, let's go into our second topic and start with, I'm going to start this one. That is, it's a rumor for now. Nothing has been confirmed, but it's pointing strongly in that direction. Unfortunately, that's No Time to Die yet again. It's going to have more time to die because it's probably getting delayed again. I don't like this. I don't like this, especially because I have a trauma with the delaying and marketing of this film.
Ren, stop buying tickets for this film. You are literally the reason this film is getting delayed.
It's not buying tickets, it's booking. Because I have a card, there's the Cineworld card, I pay it monthly, and then I can watch whatever movie I want.
Booking tickets every time.
Cineworld is closed now. I can't book it, even if I wanted to.
Are you the jinx? Is it your fault every time you book?
I probably am, because it has happened twice. You probably don't know this story, Tessa, but back when it was supposed to come out in April last year, I booked it in before all of this began. I booked it, must have been like early March, late February, and I'm like, yes, we got tickets for No Time to Die. We're getting it first because I am in the UK, so cool. Then it was delayed, and they gave me they canceled my booking. Then it was late in November. I was like, September, October, I was like, boom, No Time to Die tickets booked. We're ready for this. We're getting way before the States. And then it's delayed again to this April. And on the day after it gets delayed, I go and see Saint Maud on the last day before my local theater closes as well, because they need to save some money. And when I go to see Saint Maud, the day after No Time to Die has been delayed again, they play the latest No Time to Die trailer, as if to tease me about this. So I don't like that it's getting delayed. I cannot wait for this Bond conclusion, because Daniel Craig is my favorite Bond. I love most of his films. I even love Spectre. So I'm really mad. I'm really mad about this one. How about you, Tessa?
So you're gonna kill me. I've never watched a Bond movie.
Ooh.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm not gonna kill you. I feel jealous.
That being said, I want to, and I keep telling myself I'm gonna watch them up until like the week before I see this, because I want it all fresh in my head. And now it's just basically I'm putting off eventually watching.
I have been doing the same thing. I bought the 24 collection Blu-ray set on eBay. I found it for like $40. That thing's usually like $80.
Oh, that's a good
and I was so excited. And I told myself I'm going to watch them all and then rank them all. And I have not started at all. And I think they keep pushing it back, actually, Ren, because they know I haven't started it. And they're like, he needs to start this. I almost watched Dr. No yesterday. I almost watched it.
They also know I did start. I got to the first Roger Moore movie, and I want to do a review for every Daniel Craig Bond movie, but they just don't want me to do that.
Yeah.
How long has it been since the last James Bond film? 6 years?
It's going to be 6 years in November, October this year.
Okay. So that's crazy. Wow. I still haven't seen the last one. I saw I saw all of other Daniel Craig's, but I have not seen Spectre because I heard it was. I remember I was gonna go opening night with my friend, and then we saw the reviews and we're like, let's go see something else. And we went and saw whatever else was coming out that weekend.
Wow.
So
well, now I'm curious. I'm gonna check after the show what did come out that weekend.
I'll go look up right now.
Okay. Okay. So Tess, are you planning on doing the marathon like I was doing, like Zach is planning, or just the Daniel Craig ones?
Originally I was planning on just doing the Daniel Craig ones because I felt like I didn't have a lot of time. Now that I clearly have a whole lot of time, I'll probably dig into the whole thing. My husband's a huge fan, and he keeps telling me,
"Nice.
How have you not watched it?" He's like, when I met him, actually, was one of the things he was like, "You've never seen a Bond movie?" I was like, "No, I don't know. It never interested me." So probably we'll just do the whole thing now that we have who knows how much time, a lot. But at least for sure the Daniel Craig ones. And I'll probably save the Daniel Craig ones to like the month that I'm going to be seeing the new one.
Okay. Yeah. So I know what I saw.
Okay.
What did you see?
I saw Spotlight and Room.
Okay. Those are pretty good. Okay.
Yeah. I decided to go see both of those. And then the next day, I almost went and saw Spectre, but then I saw the Peanuts movie instead.
The what?
The Peanuts movie. The Charlie Brown
Peanuts.
film.
Okay. I thought you said something
else. Me too. I was like,
what movie is that?
Yeah, and then the next weekend, we were also going to go see it again. But then the night before came out. So then we saw them the night before. And then it just kept getting pushed back because the week after that's Creed. And then the week after that was nothing, so I have no excuse after that.
You know
what?
And
then Krampus came out. I went and saw Krampus instead.
Small sideline. I never saw the first Creed in theaters.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Because back in my home country in Portugal, Creed didn't come out until January. So January 2016 in this case. So I got it available on VOD before watching in the theater. So I took it to watch it in the year it came out because it only seemed fair. Which, by the way, Tessa, you just mentioned when you met your husband, you hadn't seen any of the Bond movies. I just recently met someone, and this is for you too, Zach, because you're going to be shocked. Someone who has never seen a single one of the Batman movies. I don't know how. Don't ask me.
What? Like any of them? Like even?
No.
Like, you know what, though? My girlfriend had never seen Star Wars. And then as we started talking, I was like, you should really try these films out. So what do you think her first Star Wars film was? I didn't tell her to watch it either. What do you think her first one was?
Did she start with episode 1?
Nope.
She went for The Force Awakens.
No, she went solo. She was on Netflix, and she saw Solo, and she goes, "Oh, he said Star Wars good. I'll watch this," and she loved it. So then she asked me, she goes, "Which one should I watch next?" So I told her to watch Force Awakens. I said, "Do Force, Last Jedi, then do the prequels, then do the original trilogy." Don't ask why. That's just the order that I've found that people love. People love doing that order, and she watched them in 1 week. And was like, "This is awesome."
Wow.
There was only one. The only two that she didn't love. She didn't like Attack of the Clones. She thought it was boring. Which me and Ren have an experience. The first collab me and Ren ever did was with Attack of the Clones, and the best thing was we filmed like an 1.5-hour rant on the film, and issues occur, so we had to redo it again, and it was another great rant, and it was great. It's literally my favorite collab I think I've ever done still, because it's just us venting about how much we hate that.
It actually worked out for the better, because then we condensed it and we had a more fluid conversation, and it was just like half an hour, not an hour and a half.
And the other film that's not high on her list, Ren, you're gonna hate her for this.
Here it comes.
Empire Strikes Back.
Really?
And Last Jedi. Yeah, those are both low for her. Everything else she loves. Everything, dude. Phantom Menace. Don't even get me started.
She likes it.
Yeah, she loves it. I convinced. I finally convinced her yesterday to film a rank. She's gonna film a ranking of all of them.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
And I also convinced her. I said, which everyone in the chat, if you want my girlfriend to react to Indiana Jones for the first time because she's never seen a single one, please let her know. Please just say it in the chat so I can show her. Because I told her if she does it, I would rank every Twilight film with her, because I've seen them all but one.
How did you not watch? You didn't even finish it.
I haven't seen Eclipse. I've seen everything else but Eclipse. But yeah.
So that's funny, because my in-laws, we're planning a Disney trip with them eventually when we can, and they have been excited about Star Wars, but they've never watched it. So they just watched it, and they watched like 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6. I think they just watched 7, and they are like obsessed with it, and they're like, "It finally got better." And I'm like, "What do you mean it got better? You think the sequels it got better? Like, what is it?" So they hated the first 3. They had to like struggle through, which I understand. And then, but even the like originals, they were just like, like you can tell they didn't have good special effects then. I'm like, yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah. So, but they're obsessed, and I think they're gonna like the sequels.
What's crazy about the sequels? The newer fan base that are coming in right now love the sequels. And that's awesome. True. I mean, for me, I enjoyed the sequels. I think Force Awakens it's still my second favorite Star Wars film. And Last Jedi, it's weird. Some days I'm like, God, it's so low on my list because like they just completely said, hey, that film really much doesn't exist anymore. But then there's other times when I think about the film and I'm like, that is the most thought-provoking Star Wars film. That it, like literally like what they did, and I will defend this forever. The best thing about that film is Luke, Rey, and Kylo. Best things about that film, hands down. It's my favorite thing ever since I walked away from it. And even Rise of Skywalker, I enjoy it. It's not, I don't hate it. There's some choices I absolutely hated in there, but if you take me to every Star Wars film besides Empire Strikes Back, I can name 3 or 4 choices I don't like. Every single one. So it's funny how problematic.
I did enjoy them, but they aren't my favorite. My favorite Star Wars movie, people always argue with me about this, but my favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One, hands down.
You know what? That's awesome.
I love
it. I wish I liked it a lot.
Well, I might be a little biased because I watched it in George Lucas's screening room at Skywalker Ranch, but that's maybe a little bit. I might be a little biased, but
that's so cool.
Well, they only showed us the first half, and then they were like, "Watch it when it comes out." And we were like, "What?"
They always do that for Disney stuff. Like every time I talk to someone, like one of my friends got to see Toy Story 4, but they only showed the first like 40 minutes, and then he goes, "Why wouldn't you show the rest of the film? There's like literally nothing left." And then like Soul was the same thing I heard about. Like there's a couple other films where it's like they show half of it.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, just show the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or don't show anything at all. I mean, I don't know.
Well, we were interviewing the cast, so they had to show us some stuff. Then we interviewed the cast. Then I went home and finished it, and I was like, we were spent all day with the cast, so I was like, I felt like they were my friends, and I'm like, are my friends okay? They all died.
So what part did you watch up to?
Well, we watched the first like half hour, so I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I've seen it so many times since, but we watched the first thing. Well, actually, it was weird because they showed us the first, I think it was like 18 minutes, and then they showed us like clips throughout.
Huh.
It was so weird because I remember rewatching it and being like, well, there was like so much in between here that we didn't see. So they showed us like, I think it was like 18 minutes, and then it was like 4 minutes here and like 5 minutes there. I just love the movie because I think it's the best Darth Vader scene of all time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Until Obi-Wan. If Obi-Wan doesn't have a better Darth Vader scene, I mean, I don't know what they're doing. So
I'm sure they will.
I still contend that the best Vader scene is the throne room fight at the end of the best Star Wars movie, The Return of the Jedi. But it is the second best one.
Return of the Jedi is one of your favorites, Ren. So you guys have that in common.
That's true. It's the best one, baby.
Anything
All right,
we
deviated from the topic of Bond getting delayed.
Yeah.
I'm going to just throw it in the dungeon because I don't like it. This one I am very invested in. Let's go to you, Zach. How about you? What do you think about Bond getting delayed?
I don't care anymore. Let me tell you, anytime something just gets delayed now, I'm not shook. Like anytime, like it's more of a, oh God.
Yeah.
Like
Here
I'm
we
gonna
go
tell you
again.
right now, if Dune gets delayed again, my like everything just gets shattered. The one film though, if it gets delayed again, like I might cry. And it's not even until next year, it's Batman. If Batman gets delayed one more time, I'm done. Like that's still the film that I'm like, that can't get delayed again. It's in my birthday month.
Even if it does get delayed, I don't think it will get delayed for a while. Like if it's supposed to get delayed eventually, it's not for a while that it's going to happen. But how about you, Tessa? The Indiana Jones, Jesus, the No Time to Die delay. How are you feeling about it?
I'm so indifferent on it just because I haven't seen any of them. I guess it's good because I have more time to make myself watch them. That's how I feel.
Exactly.
But I know a lot of people are upset.
Yeah. Speaking of people being upset, let's go to our third topic, and that is that the Ahsoka series is absorbing what the would have been Rebel sequel series would have been. Exactly that. And I'm very torn on this one because I don't get the why is one not the other? Why are we absorbing and just instead of just making the Rebel sequel with Ahsoka? Because it feels very like we know very little about specifics, but it feels very much like they're kind of the same idea. They would always be, if they made these two shows separate, they would be very similar shows, if not the same show. So I don't get the headlines about this and decision making.
It's kind of, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it when I read that, I'm like, oh, makes sense. I'm sad because I want more Star Wars animated stuff. And they did say that Ahsoka will have more animated stuff in the future. So, and I'm assuming that's probably with the Bad Batch. To be honest, I would be kind of shocked if her and Rex don't show up in there. But, I also got to be honest. I did want a Rebels sequel. And I know this is it, but it's an animated form because I want to see Zeb again. I want to see Hera. I know we'll get Sabine and Ezra and Thrawn and Ahsoka, but I hope we get Chopper and Hera and Zeb because they're just as important, if not more important to this story. And also Kanan's kid, dude. I want to see him grown up now.
Yeah.
So
Jason.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I hope we see them. I would be shocked if we don't. Rex will most likely probably be in there too, which that's cool. Which I'm going to say this right now. Rex will die in the Ahsoka series. But it's also now said that Ahsoka is a mini series. It's not a continuing series. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that one. And I'll be flat out honest about that. I think Ahsoka has enough stories to be told and I mean, that could change. But I mean, I don't want an Ezra on a Thrawn show, man. I want Ahsoka and that being the main thing. And I want to see Ahsoka's story told to when, and I always get told this, she died. She died before Rise of Skywalker. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
She showed up in that whole Force talking thing, and everyone's like, no, they said she didn't die. Every other character in that scene was dead. Every other character in that scene that talked was dead. She is dead. I want to see how she died. That I don't care if it's peaceful. I don't care if it's anything. I don't care if she went to Luke Skywalker's island and faded away too. I don't care what. I want to see how she died. I don't even if Kylo killed her. Cool. As long as Kylo doesn't kill Grogu.
No,
I'm fine.
Right.
I'm fine. But in all honesty, I want to see where her story goes. I really want to see where her story ended up going.
All right, Tess. I know you're watching Rebels right now. Where are you at on the show?
Oh, is this your first time?
Yeah, so I'm partway through season 2. I know spoilers already, so don't.
Okay.
But because I've heard, I never avoided spoilers, but I just haven't seen it. We did this such a weird way. So we watched Rebels season 1 just because we were like, let's watch Rebels, and then we were like, oh, we should watch the Clone Wars probably when Ahsoka came into it. So then we jumped to the Clone Wars, which I'm really glad we did because.
There's
Rex coming in season 2 would have meant like nothing to us. You know, and we would have been like, who's this old dude and why does she care so much? But I will say, going so closely from the Clone Wars to Rebels, I am not loving the Rebels animation style. It's bothering me. I think we've just watched like 2 seasons of the Clone Wars in the last like month. So to jump from that animation style to this one was like, oh, I'm not a giant fan of it. So every time I see Ahsoka, I go, oh, she looks so weird and different. I'm sure eventually I'll get used to it.
Yeah, I actually prefer the Rebels one. That's just my personal opinion. I prefer the Rebels. Besides the last season of Clone Wars. The last season of Clone Wars is the most gorgeous thing they've done.
Yeah.
Because
I just finished that.
Yeah.
So to go from that, because it was it was just last year, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But so I can't like give too much because I'm not 100% sure of what they're doing. But I do like that it's going to go into live action. Although I hate that they can't just do both and just do separate sort of storylines and kind of have them weave together, because it's okay to do live action and then have a related animation. They've done that stuff before, so it's a bit of a bummer because I do love the animation.
I love the Clone Wars. You should watch this if you've never seen it.
Oh, is it the movie?
No, so it's an original. Yeah. It's from the guy who made Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory. He made his own Clone Wars saga.
Really?
It was on Cartoon Network. There's two DVDs of it. You can find them on eBay for like $15.
I'm gonna write that down.
They're really good. Here, I'll show you both of them.
It's Star Wars Clone Wars. No duh.
Okay. Awesome.
And they're awesome. They're awesome.
But that one's not canon anymore, just for context.
Yeah.
But for fun,
right?
definitely fun. Yeah. It's still my favorite version of Clone Wars. I mean, I love that show. Nostalgic wise, it's awesome. But it's a ton of fun. It's the animation's perfect in there. And there's actually a lot more about General Grievous in those.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
This was actually the show that introduced Grievous for the first time.
Yeah.
And it shows you how he gets the cough and whatever else. No spoilers.
Very cool. I'll definitely check it out.
But what episode are you on? Do you remember specifically?
I think we just watched 7 last night. We either just watched 7 or 7 is next. So we're early on.
Okay, cool. Because the season finale of the season is like my favorite thing, Star Wars animation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
season
2, Rebel season 2. Are you talking Rebel season 2?
Season 2. Yeah, the finale.
I'm excited.
It's like a 3-part or 2-part finale that you gotta watch those.
It's literally, and the thing is, I think Rebels as a show is more not cohesive, but
consistent.
is more consistent than Clone Wars. Where I think Clone Wars, I still think, I mean, that finale is those last 4 episodes are still some of the best Star Wars has ever done,
for sure.
But Clone Wars, I think overall is the more exciting because it's lightsaber after lightsaber fight after lightsaber fight. It's like what you've been wanting, and there's so much going on in Clone Wars that actually adds to Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones and everything in the Star Wars lore. Where Rebels is, I mean, it adds a lot too. I mean, the finale of Rebels is insane as well.
Yeah, and the villain in the season 3 and 4, Thrawn. You're about to meet Thrawn.
I know. I'm
super excited for it.
I don't know that much about Thrawn. My husband's reading the books,
yes.
Whatever. And he's like, you need to read these next, but he got them digitally, and I can't do digital. I have to have, so I'm going to order them. Yes.
Thank you. I feel the same.
He keeps telling me they're amazing, and I'm like,
there's an old trilogy of the books that aren't canon anymore, the Legends. That's called the Heir to the Empire trilogy. That's the original. And then the same author published the new ones, which are canon. And it's Thrawn. I have that one back in Portugal. Then Thrawn Alliances, and then Thrawn treason.
That might be it. He says he's right now talking about like he's working with Darth Vader and he thinks he's going to figure out that he's Anakin and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And he's like, you got to read them. And I'm like, well, I need them in hand. I can't do digital. I hate it.
I just started the High Republic one.
Me too.
Do you like it, Ren? Just no spoilers.
I'm liking it so far. I'm like only 30 pages in, so not
so
much.
I'm like 40 in.
Okay.
I like it. I'm not sucked in yet though. I'm like, all right, you got to get me in this book because I don't read a lot.
With books.
I'm trying to read more.
But to test again, there's now a new trilogy being published, which is a prequel to all of this, to all these books, to what happens in Rebels, and it's about his ascendancy into coming into the Empire, because he's the only alien, non-human creature in the Empire, which is fantastic. Without revealing much more about Thrawn, because I want Tessa to have fun watching him getting revealed. I'm throwing this one. I'm sending this one back and hoping it returns with better news. Because like you, I'm not too conflicted about choosing to focus on Ahsoka instead of doing a direct Rebel sequel, but I would prefer it to be animation myself. So I'm sending this one back. How about you, Tessa?
Yeah, probably the same. Especially since I haven't caught up in actually watching. I mean, I kind of know what happens, but I haven't completely caught up. But I love a Star Wars animation, so I'm hoping they find some way to have something of that in the future. But I'm not too upset about these people joining the cast of Ahsoka either, because I'm interested to see them in live action.
Yeah, true. How about you, Zach?
Take my money. This is my most anticipated Star Wars show. If Dave Filoni is going to do like a samurai, old Western type stuff in this show, I mean, I'm all in. Plus the logo. I mean, you see the symbols. So
yeah. I was going to mention that. Yeah, you'll find out about the logo on the 4th season of Rebels.
Yeah, when you watch the 4th season of Rebels, go back and look at the Ahsoka symbol, and you're gonna be like, oh my god.
Okay, I will. Now I'm really excited.
Also, I'm betting money I don't have that Thrawn is going to be the villain of The Mandalorian, the Rangers, and the Ahsoka show, bringing them all together. That's just me. All right, let's move on to our penultimate topic. And both the penultimate and final topic, the first words on it are Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige's Star Wars film gets a writer in the writer of the Loki show and Doctor Strange 2. Which I wasn't too excited for Loki. And then I wasn't too excited for the same guy doing Doctor Strange 2. But then I saw the trailer for Loki, and I love the original Doctor Strange. And now he's doing Star Wars. And like you both said in the beginning of the show, in Feige we trust. So I cannot wait for this. Feige is
He's smart.
He's such a smart nerd. That's the thing. He's such a smart nerd. He's like playing with all his toys. I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait to see him playing in Star Wars and see what he does. Let's go for you, Zach. How are you feeling about this?
Gonna call it. I'm just gonna throw it out there right now. Kevin Feige knows what Star Wars fans wants. No one else is doing it. It's gonna be Old Republic.
Ooh.
I think his film will be that. The reason I say that, again, he knows what the fan base wants. And what has the fan base been asking for since Disney acquired Lucasfilm? Old Republic, Darth Revan, Darth Bane, whoever you want to do. There's so many storylines you can do in there, and I think Kevin Feige's going to do it. I think the faith he has in Loki and Doctor Strange, and then this writer, and the fact that they're now giving Loki a season 2 already, which is huge, and Loki's now my most anticipated MCU show besides Moon Knight. Nothing will beat Moon Knight, but like that trailer was amazing. I can't wait to see what he did with Doctor Strange, but like the fact that he's handing him, he goes, I want you to write this now. I gotta imagine it's, again, Kevin Feige looks at what the fan base wants. He looks, and I don't know what other era it would be set in. The only other thing I could see is the future, like going past Rise of Skywalker. But I think some of the fan base wants that. I want that, but I would rather go.
Squadron was set after.
It is, which I did not know that. So that's big, and I love that, and I really hope. I'm going to tell you right now. I think Oscar Isaac's in it. I think Oscar Isaac's going to be in it.
Dude, I want to be wrong. I want to eat my words. I don't think that at all.
I would be saying the same thing if it wasn't for Patty Jenkins. if it wasn't for Patty Jenkins.
Oh no! I mean, I'm here for it.
Dude, Patty, I think if anyone could convince him, it's Patty Jenkins. Especially if he reads the script and sees, oh, this is great. This is great. Again, I think it's going to more come down to a script thing with anyone coming back. Especially if you're going to tell me it takes place in the future and we're not getting at least someone
to tie it in.
Yeah, come on. But I'm telling you, I just a gut feeling in me. Kevin Feige doing a Star Wars film, it just seems like it would be an Old Republic, because I think that's also something that he wants to see. What other era would he touch in? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think it's going to be that or the future.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to do anything. Yeah,
I don't think he does anything in the middle, or
I don't think he would. Well,
I mean, I could see him playing around in the original trilogy too, but then again, what else do you play around with in there? Because there's not enough time in between. I mean, unless you're telling a different story. I think that the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy for me, I think are pretty much done. There's an Obi-Wan story that I still want to see, and that's really it. Everything else I want to see past original trilogy, in between, past the new trilogy, and all before, within High Republic and Old Republic, which, come on, just do Old Republic. I think Kevin Feige knows I'm going to blow everyone out of the water. We're going to have 1,000 Sith versus 1,000 Jedi battlefield type thing. I don't know.
He could he can pull it off.
Yeah. Let's see what he does. Maybe Yoda's the main character. I don't know.
I liked it. How are you feeling about the Kevin Feige Star Wars movie, Tessa?
Well, listen, again, you guys, I think Kevin can do absolutely no wrong. I love him. But I will say, when this announcement came about the writer, it made me more excited for Doctor Strange too. Because I was already super excited for Loki, but it made me think, he has this much, kind of like Zach was saying, this much confidence in this writer that he's like, this is who I want for my Star Wars movie. It just made me so much more excited for that. Like, what do those scripts look like? What does the early writing look like? Because if he's this confident that this is who I want to attach to his Star Wars debut, maybe a one and only, maybe he'll end up doing some more. Who knows? I know he says he's not taking over Star Wars. Doesn't mean he's not going to do another one in the future, depending on how this goes. So I don't know. It just made me just super excited, and I trust in everything he does. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
He's not taking over Star Wars yet.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to tell you right now, that'll be Dave Filoni and John Favreau.
Yeah,
if anyone's taking over, it's going to be them.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Because remember,
together.
Kevin Feige was the one that brought John Favreau in for Iron Man. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I can see Disney grooming Kevin Feige to take over Alan Horn's place, because that dude, he wants to retire again, and this time stay retired.
For real.
You know what? I could see that the only worry is who takes his place for MCU. That's the biggest thing.
He does everything.
He does both.
Exactly. I can just imagine the Age of Ultron post-credit scene, and Kevin Feige comes in. Fine, I'll do it myself.
Right, yes. I can't imagine him letting anybody touch MCU till he's done with what he. And I'm sure he's got years planned in his head.
2028. 2028 what he has right now.
Mark your calendars to stay alive until 2028.
Yeah, please.
No point in dying.
Aliens cannot come down and attack us until...
Right.
Exactly. And if they do, we open portals and we assemble.
Exactly.
We just need an excuse to do that, everyone. All right, I am super knighting this, if that's even a thing that we haven't created yet. Super knighting this decision. Cannot wait to see this. I don't even care what it is at this point. How about you, Tessa?
Yeah, 100%. Knighted that times 1,000.
All right, Zach, how about you?
Take my money. Take my money. So when do you guys think we'll see this? I think 2025.
Yeah, I was going to say 24, 25, but with the state of the world.
Yeah, and I say that because Rogue's 2023, which I don't know how the hell it's 2023, to be honest with you. Wonder Woman's being fast-tracked, but and then 2025 or 4 is supposed to be Avatar. So then one more year, I think 5. Or that's Taika's. I mean, Taika still has his to do too.
Oh yeah,
true.
You know what? I think we're going to end up going back to 2 films a year. I think
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
I think so too.
Why are we stopping at 1? That's what I
Especially
was-
with them
Hey,
having to.
and I'm going
going
to tell you right now, don't count the Russo brothers coming out to direct that film.
the Kevin Feige Star Wars
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I wasn't, but I wouldn't be shocked if they come back.
I after the feedback from Cherry, I really think they're going to end up coming back to Disney and doing an MCU or a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that feedback was what they were expecting. But
no. Did you get to see it? I didn't get to see it.
No, but I was talking to some people and I'm like, you know, now hearing that it's not an awards contender, I think I'm going to like it more because now I'm not expecting an awards film. I'm expecting a decent drama with Tom Holland. And I think that's what I'm now going to get. And then I'm going to be like, oh, that was really good. Right. Because I didn't expect, where I think some people were going and thinking this could be a game changer, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like other films like Malcolm and Marie, I had like more expectations for being in a game changer.
Don't talk about that. I'm watching that tonight.
You know what? Listen, you got it too. Listen, I
got it.
emailed them and they're like, "You'll get it soon." And then they wrote me back and said, "Sorry, we're not opening this widely now."
So like, let me say this. There's something with the UK. There's something with the UK because the only reason I saw it is because I went through the UK.
Really?
I
gotta go through the
and I didn't get
it.
I had a friend tipped me off that, hey, they're doing this virtual premiere thing through something for the UK. Email this link. I said, okay. Emailed it, and then they didn't even ask anything. They're just like, hey, yeah, here's your link. Yeah, but then told me,
like, you'll get it soon, and then they were like, we're taking that back. We're not reviewing it widely or releasing it widely for review. I was like, well, you can't tell me yes. And then...
I would follow back up soon because I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up at Sundance. I know Sundance just added Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes.
But for some reason, there's still something sitting in me that Malcolm's going to show up at Sundance. It feels
like it's a good Sundance movie. But
yeah. So.
Just from trailers.
And all of his films are premiered there. That's why I'm like, his wife's part of the board.
I applied to the same thing Zach got into, but I didn't get in. But just yesterday was like 9 p.m., maybe later than that. It was after dinner. I was just relaxing with my housemates, and suddenly I go to my email because at the end of the day, I always go to just throw away unnecessary items that are still there. I'm like, oh, I have Malcolm and Marie. Cool.
That's awesome.
I didn't watch.
It's something with the UK. It's something with the UK. I don't know what it is, but like Ren didn't get WandaVision, and I swear it's because of the UK stuff.
It could be, yeah.
I really like Ren 100%. I really think that is because like everyone and their fucking mother, even my mother got WandaVision screeners.
Well, you know what? I'm not complaining because I didn't get WandaVision, but I got 2 different movies, and I did get Soul back in the day. So hopefully, I get Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to put in a good word. No, just if I can. No, but because I got them Friday. You know, before because I was attending the junket, and they were available for 24 hours, and then they disappeared from my screening room, and I was like, and then I just got them with like the second round when everybody got them, even those who weren't attending the junket. I got them again, so I watched them again yesterday. So now I've seen them like 6 times each.
Damn it! All right, no time for questioning just yet. So let's go to our final topic before I question you, and we go into some live questions.
I want to introduce this topic because I'm this is my favorite. Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Zach. I
tell the story every time. The first Deadpool film I saw every single week it was out. I saw it 4 times opening weekend and 2 to 3 times each weekend after that. I literally love that film. It's top 3 comic book films for me. I love it. I will watch it every day if I needed to. The fact that Kevin Feige just confirmed everything I wanted to hear. Rated R and in the MCU. Well, the MCU part, kind of still iffy on that part. But rated R and in MCU, quote unquote. I'll believe it when I still see it. Again, that's why I say Luke Cage and Iron Fist could show up in there. And it's quote unquote MCU because multiverse. Technically, I guess if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield show up, they're in the MCU now. So then when I rank all the Marvel films, I got to include their films now. That's the one thing. Would you guys include them? Like, no.
I wouldn't.
No.
Anything in the future, maybe.
It just confuses me now. Because like the DCU doing the multiverse, I'm like, do I include the Keaton films now? It's so freaking messed up. But Kevin Feige officially confirms that Deadpool will be rated R, which we already knew that one.
We knew that.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why that one's news. And will be in the MCU. I think the MCU thing is the biggest thing about this because now it plays around with it. Now, I've told Ren, my biggest worry with this is that we're not going to get Domino, Cable, and Vanessa because the best thing about Deadpool's films is that relationship with Vanessa. That is the reason that first film works so well. And actually the reason that the second one didn't work so well for me. I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. But my biggest issue was Vanessa being killed off right in the beginning was not a good choice. Why does he
randomly see her throughout the whole movie? That was stupid.
Yeah, and then at the end he saves her and it's like, oh, so it didn't even matter. The whole film didn't matter. Everything he did, he didn't learn which again, best post-credit scene ever made. Best post-credit scene ever made of him going through everything. And I'm so mad they put the deleted version of him killing baby Hitler. Because I don't know if you guys have seen that deleted scene.
I have.
Yeah.
It's funny. I love the character of Deadpool. And I really am excited for Deadpool 3. I'm so excited to see what the sisters can do with it. I want to know who's directing it. That's going to be my big key thing is who's directing it. I really hope it's someone that's like different, but like surprising. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I want to know the story. And I think that's the one thing I'm sitting on. Let me hear the synopsis, the story, and what even the title is. Because I don't think it's going to be called Deadpool 3. I think it's going to be called something like a play on words for the MCU. Like Deadpool Homecoming, like making fun of Spider-Man. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Tom Holland doesn't show up in this just for a small cameo, I'll be surprised.
I wouldn't call a rated R Deadpool movie Homecoming, if you know what I mean.
Well,
the joke writes itself.
You and really go all out there.
Yeah, it's going to be weird though. And I know I saw some people freaking out. Well, what if little Johnny wants to go see it after he saw him in the Avengers film? That's my thing. They're not going to make the Deadpool films where you have to see them.
That's exactly.
They're not going to do that. Marvel knows what they're going to do. But I think the cool thing about this now is it opens the doors. Well, what other rated R films will they do?
Blade.
Punisher. Those two. I think even I'm not saying Moon Knight will be rated R because he'll be in the MCU, but I could see him showing up in a Blade or a Deadpool and doing the whole rated R stuff. I think that's what's really cool about this is now they're opening that door and saying, hey, and they would be dumb to not make Deadpool rated R because the PG-13 effort was fine. It wasn't great. The one with the Once Upon a Time Deadpool.
Once Upon a Deadpool, yeah.
It wasn't great. It was fun. It was funny, but it wasn't something
it had novelty to it, but that's it.
My biggest issue was you don't do that with a Deadpool 2. When I've already seen Deadpool 2 and I know all the jokes,
right?
A PG-13 version of these jokes aren't as funny to me.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if like I had a kid and I had them watch it and they thought it was the funniest thing in the world, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, and that's really what it was for. It's going to be interesting. So I want to hear both of your guys' thoughts, starting with Tessa. What is the 3 characters you really want to see them bring in to Deadpool? If they were to play around with it as either as a cameo, a joke, a part of the story, who would you like to see?
Okay, I definitely want to see Spider-Man. I think he has to come in there, Tom Holland. I want to see Cable because I was not a fan of Deadpool 2. It bothered me. I hated Cable's, like, every time he moved, it was like, zzz, zzz, zzz. I'm like, that doesn't happen with Cable, so why are we doing this? It's just getting annoying. And I loved the first one, so I think that's part of it. I went in with such high expectations, and I love Cable, and I love Cable and Deadpool. So I want him to fix it, bring Cable in and make it better. Because I love Cable and Deadpool, and I just really, the second one just was awful for me. And then who else do I really want to see? I mean, I feel like we got to get Vanessa in there, but I don't know that she really counts. I'd like to see, I'm on this just because you were talking about it, but I kind of am for the, like, bring in Iron Fist and just completely make fun of him for his horrible, horrible show, even though I haven't seen it. But I just want it to be funny. And I think R-rated is perfect. And I think, like you said, they're going to make it so that it's not, you have to watch this. Because I have a friend she doesn't even watch R-rated movies. And she was upset because she loves the MCU. And I'm like, I don't think they're going to make it that this is required MCU watching. It'll be a fun, additional side type story. Like when you have a crossover event and then you got this comic book series that's going on that you can link it, but you don't have to read it. I think that's how they're going to do it.
I just think it's going to be linked through the multiverse. That's the way I view it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That this Deadpool going on will be linked through the multiverse. He knows what's going on. He's still in his world, but in this world, there's a version of Spider-Man in that world. There's a version of Iron Man in this world. There's a version of Captain America, Thanos, that you can play around with. Now, Ren, what about you?
I am going to say that Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans should be brought in for them to make fun of the fact that, wait, aren't you dead? You're not supposed to come back. And also Josh Brolin as Thanos. That way you can make fun of Josh Brolin for being dressed in that weird motion capture gear instead of being Cable. And I would also start the movie off with Deadpool being censored, and then he's aware of it and he changes. He's like, oh, bleep no. That's not gonna bleeping happen on my movie. I'm Deadpool. I don't bleeping care who owns me, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. I am telling you,
it'll be really fun.
The first time we see Deadpool will be in Doctor Strange. I'm still holding to that. Just one little portal, he opens it up, sees him eating a chimichanga naked in the shower, and he closes the shower back or the portal back up. Just something small. I think that's he's gonna show up before.
I can see that, but if you want to take the joke a little bit farther, have it be Ryan Reynolds himself and not Deadpool.
Okay.
Oh,
That's funny.
That's good too.
So let me say this. If Deadpool 3 happens, Hugh Jackman shows up.
That's what I was going to say. I would love Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman shows up as Wolverine.
But it would have to be Hugh. It would have to be Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I think he'll be like, "Didn't you die?" Like just again, but that's also going to Cap, Iron Man. Well, you could do all the Avengers that have died or characters that have quote unquote died in this world. Black Widow. You could have him all like, say in the beginning, I don't know, Thanos comes in and Deadpool dies, right in the beginning, but he obviously comes back, but he goes to that afterlife world and he sees him, aren't you all dead? And then gets kicked back out and then builds his body back together.
He also sees Uncle Ben off screen. Uncle Ben doesn't show up and he says, oh, that's Uncle Ben.
Something like that. I will say there's one character I really want to see an interaction with. It's Brie Larson's Captain Marvel.
Really?
Dude, I think the jokes he could make with that, especially with the fan base, and I think Brie Larson would play into it too, would be really fun to have. Just, again, something small. It doesn't even need to tie in to be... And even adding in, I wouldn't be shocked if they go big or go home with the cameos. Mm-hmm. Just for a small little thing to say, we're in the MCU.
Yeah.
But it's not like a big part of it. The other one would be Thor. I think Thor's just him talking with Deadpool and just seeing how annoyed they get. I think that'd be fun.
I think it'd be fun for I'm going back to Chris Evans, but this time he shows up, and Deadpool recognizes him as the Human Torch.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be funny.
I love it. I'm not eating this though, man. I'm not eating this. I love it. Kevin Feige knows what we're getting, and we'll probably get this film 2023. I think it's going to film next year. We'll get it in the middle. I don't remember. There's 2 release dates in 2023 for Marvel films that have not been filled. Yeah. One's clearly Blade. One is clearly Blade.
It's gotta be
because they said Blade will come out between Captain Marvel 2 and Black Panther 2. There's 2 days, and one's in October. So
and Mahershala Ali is 48 or 49 at this point, so you got to get that movie done.
Yeah. And Deadpool will be I think that summer release date. I think I'd be pretty surprised if it wasn't. And I think it fits. I think it fits to bring Deadpool, and if it's not 2023, it'll be 2024 because of what's going on right now. But they're probably going to crank that script out. Probably by the end of this year, we'll start hearing casting, what the story's actually going to be about, and then early next year, it goes into development or it goes into production.
Yeah. How about you, Tessa?
Oh, I'm knighting it 100%. Again, Kevin knows what he's doing. I love that they're going to make it R-rated because I know there's a lot of pushback on that, and there's people on both sides. But I was really hoping they wouldn't change their mind, and it seems like they're not going to, and they're going to keep it R-rated, which is great. And I'm just excited to see Deadpool in the MCU and hopefully make up for I know people liked it, but I did not like Deadpool 2.
Do you think,
like a good Deadpool.
do you guys think they have any Disney references?
Probably.
Whether he talks about 100%. The mouse or
100%.
If they don't, they're dumb.
Dude,
and
I could see him. I could see the film, and I don't know if Disney would allow this, but some part of me thinks they would. Him riding around on the Dumbo ride with freaking Mickey ears opening up, and then that's just the opening. And he starts, and that's when he starts the bleeping. And he goes, "Oh, let's leave this place."
Yeah. The only joke I cannot see them doing is about Walt Disney himself being frozen, the frozen head for him to come back in the future. Yeah, probably. But I'm noting this as well. The possibility. I'm with you, Tess. I'm just happy that they're keeping it rated R, because I think if they had always done Deadpool PG-13, it could have worked. But if you start rated R, it's gotta stay rated R. I'm just shocked that it's coming to the MCU. I never thought they'd do that. So
yeah,
you know what? Color me shocked. All right. Those are it for our topics. Let's step into the questions. We got loads of questions. We got so many people watching. Thank you so much. And this person here knows you've watched WandaVision, the first 3 episodes. Can you not spoil WandaVision? I can't believe everyone has seen 1/3 of the show and I can't see one. Dude, I'm with you. I can't see one. So let me ask you, for every time WandaVision gets mentioned in the chat, I will ask you both one question. In the 3 episodes that you've seen, do you think you've seen the peak of how crazy and trippy it gets?
No.
Okay.
No. Because it's trippy in each episode. I mean, each episode... the embargo still hasn't gone up.
I know, it's embargo. An hour and a half.
It's tough.
Okay,
it's tough,
I did not know that part. So if you can't break embargo, don't tell me anything.
Well, we'll just say it doesn't. It's trippy, but there's still a lot more. I will say though, they should have released the first 3 episodes.
I totally agree. I see why press got the first 3 episodes, and because they made sense together. And I'm kind of upset that people are going to be left with only 2 and have to wait another week.
Because I think only 2. Each episode ends in a way that you're like, I need to see the next one.
Yeah.
But the 3rd episode's the one where it's like, I'm starting to get what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. I was kind of bummed about that too. When I was like, oh, general public is going to be like, oh.
But I will say the way that the episodes are structured, you couldn't have combined one or the other. They all had to be separate because it's a straight sitcom. I'll leave it there. It's a straight sitcom. It is really unique, and it's probably the most unique thing they've done.
Also, do you think tomorrow I should make a review for each episode that comes out, or a review just for the
together?
First 2 episodes?
So I did, because I scheduled mine ahead of time. I did 1 and 2, but that's because I watched 1. Then I did my review because I didn't want to accidentally say something that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I did a second one. Then I went, I had already scheduled them. I was like, I probably should have combined them. So when I do my watch tomorrow, I'm doing them just 1 and 2.
I combined mine because that's just how they're coming out. I look at it as most people are going to watch them both, then go on the internet and try and find both.
Right.
But there is an advantage to that because there could be someone who's looking just for episode 1. Maybe they only had time to watch the first episode and they're driving to work and they want to hear someone's thoughts, and that's a thing. So, and it was tough because I was trying to stay on just episode 1, then jump into episode 2, but they are very interconnective, like stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
that's why I'm glad I watched 1, did my review. Watched 2, because or else I knew I would have been.
But I'm very curious to see the general audience. Like I texted my friend yesterday. I was like, please watch WandaVision tonight at midnight or like tomorrow morning because I want to hear your thoughts. I told him, I was like, I don't think you're gonna like it. And he goes, why? I was like, because you're picky. You don't like anything slow or anything different. And he goes, I like Guardians. I'm like, yeah, this is different. This is different than Guardians.
Pay off. I think it's gonna pay off. We'll see.
I do too. I think
it's really gonna be worth the investment.
I'll take your guys' advice into I'll hold your guys' advice, and then tomorrow, after I finish the first episode, I'll decide what to do. Because I have another video to do in the afternoon, and we'll get to that myself and Tessa. GKVP, what if they recast the roles of the Netflix characters if they bring them on? It's something I thought would be what they would do, but apparently the door is open. So I don't know. It seems more and more likely by the day that they're not going to recast, which I'm also cool with that. How about you, Tessa?
I don't think they will if they can, and I can't imagine any actor being like, "No, I'm cool. I don't want to be in this." Yeah. So
I do not want to work.
Right, I'm all set. You guys.
What are they doing? That's my question. What are they? And I'll put it this way: the only one that I was like, I would be surprised if they came back is Kristen Ritter.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I know she's really down to earth and stuff, but it just seems like they kind of screwed them all. So she's the one that I'm actually surprised is rumored. She doesn't need to work ever again. I mean, none of them really do, but I'm not surprised. And I'm sure Vincent D'Onofrio sitting in his penthouse just like,
Vanessa!
I hope they bring back Elektra. I'll say that. I really like the girl who plays Elektra. I hope they bring her back.
Yeah, I like her too. Yeah. Joe Fletcher, do you think Black Widow will go to premiere, Disney Plus, and theaters at the same time? I'm not sure, but I'm going to give it the same answer I just gave. It seems more and more likely every day that passes. How about you, Tessa?
Same thing. It seems like that's where they're going. I think they're going to wait as long as they can and put off a decision. But eventually, I mean, I think it's coming out no matter what then. I don't think they're going to push it. So it's going to be either theaters and premiere Disney Plus. I think they're also going to wait and see how Raya does, although it's different. But the fact that it's not this Mulan that was like a live action that people weren't sure if they wanted it or not anyway. So to go with something that's original and they'll see how Raya goes. And then I think they'll decide, what they're going to do with Black Widow. I think they're going to wait, put it off as long as they can. But I think unless something magically changes with the world, I think it's going to end up going to both.
I'm still shocked that Raya's premiere access. I am shocked. Yeah, I'm just, I've been in the mindset. Put it in theaters for a month, then do streaming. I think that's what HBO Max should have done. 100%. That's exactly what they should have done. Because then I think theater owners wouldn't be as mad.
Yeah.
I think you are right, though. I think they're going to put it off till the month before, and they're like, nothing's getting better. Black Widow's marketing has been out forever. We have a streaming service. Let's put it on Premiere Access. Let's say it's still going to theaters. So any movie theater that's open right now is still playing the film. And it will still, that's what they should have done with Mulan. Mulan would have made a lot more money for them. And I think that's just the way to go. I don't want to see Black Widow at home first time. Mm-hmm. That's just the honest truth. I want screeners to come back that are normal, where I get an email and it's like, come to the theater to see Black Widow or see whatever. And
I never got those. I get them for New York City, which is 6-hour drive. So I personally am selfish and like that because theaters aren't open. Number one, number two, they don't have in-person screeners where I live. So I'm like, I'll take it.
And that's an advantage. But like the world's changed. I cannot see everything going back, even after everything's normal.
I think there'll be a lot more virtual screening.
And
junkets. It's way cheaper. Like I was talking to one of my friends who works at Disney, and he's like, I don't know that we'll go back to in-person junkets for a while because first of all, we can get so many more people in a virtual junket. They're everywhere. It's cheaper. And you can just spend a day doing interviews and then you're done. And the talent doesn't have to go anywhere. They like sitting at their house and doing it. So,
and that's the thing. I think the only thing I could see, I don't know, man. If I watch the Batman at home for the first time, I'm going to tell you right now, like I will slowly just die in my seat watching that film. Like,
well, you have right? So, screeners, that wouldn't help with screening.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is what I'll do. If I get a screener for Batman, I'll go rent out a theater.
Yeah,
private theater and ask, can you just plug my laptop in? Can you just plug my laptop in? And honestly, I think they would let me.
I bet they would.
Damn.
What movie do you want to see when you rent this out? Just plug this in.
Just plug my laptop in. I have stuff I want because they let you play video games. They let you bring your console. So, what's the difference with me plugging in my laptop to watch Black Widow. Honestly, you guys think I'm joking. If I get a Black Widow screener, I'm doing this. I'm literally gonna call up and be like, I want to watch like a film I made. I'll just say a film I made. Can you just plug my laptop in and let me watch it?
I bet they would.
Oh, they have to. They have to.
Yeah.
I don't care if I
found
got
a way around it. Look at
Dude,
you.
I might do this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
It'd be worth it.
I'm gonna try it with like a smaller screener first, like just to see if they'll let me. And then if I get away with it, then I'm like, I could watch The Mandalorian in theaters.
Yeah, you can watch WandaVision.
Go binge the whole show.
Yeah.
This kid's been in there for 6.5 hours. Is he okay?
All right, movie reviews by JT. What's your favorite X-Men movie? All right, no Wolverines or Deadpools, just straight up X-Men movies.
Straight up X-Men.
First class.
Probably First Class for me too.
Oh, really? I'm going Days of Future Past.
Overrated.
How dare you, sir?
I will say it.
I hate you.
Breaking news. Martin Scorsese says Killers of the Flower Moon is moving full steam ahead with a 7-month shoot starting now.
Oh, but we should let Tessa know. Every time we're doing the show or after, there's breaking news. So,
Every time. So I'm telling you right now, you know what's going to happen right when we're done? The Cherry trailer comes out.
I was going to say the Cherry trailer is supposed to be
coming out today.
That's true. Well,
that's
coming
true.
out today, but I assume it'll be
today.
soon. Right before it was Flora and Ulysses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still gotta watch that one. What if Michael Keaton is a new character? I'll tell you what.
No.
He's not, because he's wearing the same clothes. And if he was, they would have come out and said, "Look, guys, this is not Vulture. This is a new person." I don't know why they talk like that. But they
same clothes.
He's wearing exactly what
and what's the line he says in there? What's the line?
It's just something about.
It's about
what's up, Doc? What's up, Doc?
Yeah.
It's only Keaton can get away with saying the stupidest thing. I'm for it though. I love Keaton.
Okay. What's everybody's favorite, most anticipated, I guess, MCU movie and TV show? Let's start with Tessa. WandaVision doesn't count for you, by the way.
And it has to be a show that is filming right now. It can't, and a movie that's filmed. Nothing that's started or nothing that's in production, about to go in production, stuff like that. Yep.
That's no fun.
Yeah, it is.
I was going to say What If. Not What If.
What If
Secret
counts?
Invasion.
What If counts?
I was going to say Secret Invasion. Which does not count. But I can pretend it does. I will say, well, What If? I'm going to, because that's what I'll go with if. Because I like, well, I don't know. Because Loki's trailer looked really good. This is hard because they all look so good. I'm going to say What If because that's my initial thought for something that's coming out. Just because I love the What If comics. I think it's fun that everyone's coming back and reprising their characters there. We're going to get probably Chadwick Boseman's last hurrah. It's sad. And it's something that my kids are going to be excited to watch with me because it's animated. And we get Marvel Zombies. There's so many reasons why I'm excited for that. And MCU movie, ooh, I'm going to go with Doctor Strange, too.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I really want to see how that ties into everything, and I'm really excited for it.
I'm going to go with you on the TV show What If. I've been saying this since day one, since the first bunch of shows they announced. I'm like, I want to see What If. Actually, Marvel Zombies is the one I'm probably not excited about because I just lost the appeal of zombies long time ago. So that's a me problem. But I'm going with you. What If, animation, MCU. I want to see those two things together. And movie, Eternals. Absolutely Eternals, 100%. Chloe Zhao just brought out Nomadland. It's one of the best films of the past year. And I'm just rereading the Neil Gaiman run of Eternals, which I know it's not the one the movie is based on, but it's the best one. So
listen, so you've read a lot of Eternals then?
Not a lot, but enough to know. Yeah.
Eternals is like one of the ones I know almost nothing about. Will you send me some suggestions to read? Okay.
Yes. Plus, Marvel is just restarting a new run of them, so
they are in
time. Yeah.
I'll have my comic shop added to my poll. Yeah, Eternals was always one I never was I never got into it. Now I'm like, oh, I should have gotten into it.
It's like the Game of Thrones, not the Game of Thrones, because that's Lord of the Rings of the Marvel universe. Yeah. How about you, Zach?
All right, so you took. I would have said Eternals, man, because I'm predicting they pushed it back.
Still say it.
Yeah, I just want to be different though. But let me just say, the Eternals will be nominated for Best Picture. They pushed it to November for a reason. They know they have Chloe Zhao. They know that this. I think this will be the best made film yet, but it'll probably be my top 5 favorite. But I really think this film's gonna like blow everyone away. Again, that is why it got pushed back past Shang-Chi, past everything else, because the film's done. The film is done. Yeah. It's just we're sitting on it.
Eternals, I think, knowing what I know, if they dive full on into the lore and mythos and everything about it, it's going to be a movie that people like us are going to be like, what the hell? This isn't possible that they're making this. And
I also think Thanos is in it. Just small.
The rumor is there, and it would make sense
because he's an Eternal, right? He's an Eternal, right?
I think he's half Eternal. He's a Celestial. Okay. That's 100% sure.
So small stuff, because I think the Eternals will take place during the blip and after. I think it's gonna span time.
I think it's gonna take place way before and then during and after.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. But actually, I mean, it's between Doctor Strange or Spider-Man, man. Which don't count Shang-Chi out because I think that film's gonna be awesome too. I think all these films.
Oh, same.
Honestly, I think every MCU film coming out this year, the one that I'm probably least anticipating now, and it's not because I'm not excited for it, it's just because it's been out there. I've seen the trailer 300 times. It's Black Widow.
Yeah, that's.
I want to see Shang-Chi. I want to see all those. TV show though, it's got to be Loki right now. It's got to be Loki. And just because it's rumored Kang might show up, and I love Jonathan Majors, and I might cry if we get. I'm so excited for that. I am excited to see what secrets pop up. Like, I'm assuming WandaVision will have some secrets pop up where it's like, oh my god, they got this person. Like, if Doctor Strange doesn't show up in the show at the very end, I'm like, come on now, he's got to.
There's gonna be some cameos, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Wonder Woman 1984 going to a rotten back to a fresh? I'm the worst person to ask because I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, so I don't pay attention to that. But Zach just said it's stupid. How about you, Tessa?
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
Did you like Wonder Woman 1984?
I did. I liked it enough. I mean, I didn't like. It's not my favorite. But I also am not. I don't think DCEU movie. I don't go in with high expectations for DCEU movies. Let's put it honestly. And I liked Pedro a lot in this, and I think he was the reason I liked that movie so much. I think that because for me, honestly, Wonder Woman was like Diana was like a side character in this. To me, it felt more like a movie about.
You got a point for sure.
So she, I mean, she was good enough, but she just felt like a supporting role. And whatever. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Rotten Tomatoes critic, but I still don't pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes scores usually.
Rotten Tomatoes is watching this. They're going to disavow you.
No, I mean, I love Rotten Tomatoes. Always listen to their score.
But yeah, I agree. Pedro was definitely the best part of that film. Speaking of Morbius, the writers of Morbius did Last Witch Hunter, Dracula Untold, which is an underrated movie, and Gods of Egypt. Just you. How are you feeling about those 3 credits for Morbius?
Well, let me just say, G. Colby Porter or whatever. You just killed any expectations for me on Morbius. You literally just said, "Hey, Zach, you want to see what dog poop looks like? Let me just shove it towards you, and say, sniff it. Can you sniff it? Yeah, I can see it. I can see it through the screen too. I just don't care anymore now. I don't know. Maybe those were because you know what? The guys who wrote Spotlight made a bunch of crap movies beforehand. Right. So, and Spotlight won Best Picture. So the guy who wrote Argo wrote terrible movies. So so I don't know. This could be their masterpiece. But Gods of Egypt, garbage. Last Witch Hunter, garbage. Dracula Untold, I never saw. I really want to. Maybe one day.
All right. How about you, Tess? Are you with Zach down in the dumps?
Yeah.
Or?
I mean, I totally agree. I've seen those too, and I didn't like them, and I haven't seen Dracula Untold. So there you go. And I feel
It's
almost
underrated.
Well, I like Dracula, so maybe I'll check it out.
Yes, please. All right. Do you think Marvel is doing the multiverse because DC did it on Crisis? The cameos made the crossover good. I actually thought on Crisis the cameos were just because. But knowing Kevin Feige, I think he's just doing it because he's worried about his universe. He's focused on what he should do for his universe, not what others are doing. But being a fan of the comics that he is, I'm sure he might say this now because he works for Marvel, but I don't think he read only Marvel comics as a kid. So he definitely knows what he's doing in that sense. What do you think, Tessa?
I don't think he pulled anything from anybody else. I don't think he's doing it because I think he's had this plan forever. I mean, look, right now he's got plans through 2028. So I don't think this has anything to do with what others are doing. I think he focuses on, what he's doing and what he wants his universe to do.
All right. How about you, Zach?
I mean, Kevin Feige's the man. I again, until he goes and messes, until something like I watch it, I'm like, that was garbage. Like that was garbage. You know what I mean? Like, even if I walk out of like Shang-Chi or Black Widow, I'm like, that was fine. I'm still gonna be like, my faith is in him. The film wasn't garbage. I mean, and that's the thing. I can look at the DCEU, and there's one film in there that is trash. I mean, it's literally trash, and that's Suicide Squad. It is literal trash. That is, like, I have it. I have this film.
You bought it?
My dad loves this film. It's garbage. This is garbage. Like, this is garbage. Like, everything in this is garbage.
You're right.
This scene reminds me of X-Men Origins. So, it is literal garbage. Where the Marvel, I could look at Thor Dark World and I'm like, I don't want to watch it, but at least I can play it in the background and not be like irritated 24/7 throughout it. Justice League's a mess too, so
yeah, well, hopefully we'll get a better one soon. But who knows? But yeah, with Suicide Squad, my husband and I went to go see it, and we couldn't go Thursday night for some reason, so we were going Friday, and reviews are already out and all that. And so we knew going in, like, it's not gonna be great, but it's got Harley and it might be fun, and I love the Suicide Squad, and we still almost left. I was like, I went into this thinking it was gonna be awful, and I was still disappointed. That's not a good sign.
It's so funny because I went in. Me and Ren kind of had the same experience. I went and saw that opening night with my friends, and I was mixed. One of my friends hated it, and one of my friends really liked it. So then the next day, I was like, I gotta go see this film again. Watched it again. I'm like, it's better. No, and then I saw it a third time, and it wasn't. And I think, Ren, you kind of had the same experience.
I was so excited for this film. It's insane. Like, you know how much I adore. I am the #1 evangelist for Men of Steel, but still, going into it, I was never as excited for Men of Steel as I was going into Suicide Squad. So a little bit of backstory. In Portugal, movies come out on Thursday. That's not like the night in the evening. That's instead of Friday, it's on Thursday. So on Wednesdays, maybe sometimes Tuesdays, there's preview screenings that you call in a radio show and you win tickets and whatnot. I wasn't getting press screenings yet in 2016, and so I won for Suicide Squad. So I go in, I'm the first in line, and I invite my best friend to go with me because my girlfriend at the time couldn't, but she was also really excited. So even before going to that preview screening, I bought tickets for the Friday or Saturday showing on another different cinema. And we were so excited that we bought 2 tickets for 2 different screenings of Suicide Squad, one on Saturday and another one on Sunday. And so I go into that preview screening, seeing the movie for the first time, and I'm like, I hated this. My best friend loved it. He had so much fun with it. He's like, I love the Joker. I love Harley. It's so different. I'm like, I wanted to. And then I go see the second time. Yep, I hate this. And it's not funny anymore. And then I'll go and see the third time because I didn't want to just throw the money of the ticket away. And since then, I have this fuming rage of everything that's wrong with that movie. And yeah, that's my story.
Enchantress is just stupid. Her whole...
You don't give someone you don't give someone 6 weeks to write a screenplay.
Right. I'm excited for James Gunn to fix it. I know it's not a sequel. I know it's not, but he's going to fix it, and I'm going to be happy about it.
Same.
That's what I think.
Same. I believe that fully. What DC show on HBO should I watch first, Stargirl or Titans? I don't watch Titans. I'm not a big fan of Stargirl, so I can't recommend either. Tessa, do you watch any of these? Do you like any of these?
I watched Stargirl. I have not watched Titans at all. I liked Stargirl. I thought it was fun, but it's not like my favorite. But I like Doom Patrol, to be honest. If you're going to pick one, go with Doom Patrol. That's my thought.
Zach, how about yourself? I know you watch Titans, you don't watch Stargirl.
Can I pick something else?
You can. Tessa just did.
Doom Patrol. I mean, that's the best. Or the Harley Quinn animated show.
Yes.
Watch that, actually. That's the best thing they've done. I'm not dumb. I'm not caught up with it yet. If that doesn't... Did that get renewed or no?
Yes, it did.
I think it did.
Getting a season 3.
Okay. Because that show's awesome.
Or just do a DCAU marathon, as I'm doing. Next up is Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. I just started watching them for some reason. Start with the best one, Flashpoint Paradox, and then every time Damian Wayne speaks, I want to beat him in the face with a punch. I hate Damian Wayne. Oh, this is a good question. I don't know if Tessa knows this story. Is Zach Pope still mad at Ren that he saw Quiet Place Part 2?
Yeah,
you saw Quiet Place Part 2?
Not right now. I watched it in March last year, 2 days before my birthday, before everything. So my birthday is March 7th. Last week it was on a Saturday. I watched Quiet Place Part 2 on March 5th. And on the weekend of my birthday, I went with my housemates, my friends, to Amsterdam for the weekend, just having a good time, blah, blah. We came back. We go to the gym and go shopping in that week. So we come back on Monday, we do everything, and on Tuesday, the announcement comes. On Friday, we will close everything down, and I'm like, whew, at least I watched the movie, and then it gets delayed, and then it gets delayed again. So I have my review ready and edited, ready to go. It's even got my old intro that I don't have now. I've updated my channel since then, but the review is here.
I'm going to tell you right now, Ren, that film's not going to theaters. There's no way.
It was for me.
It's not gonna be for me, dude. And it pissed me off because he told me he saw it, and I'm like, dude, I get to see it whatever day. It literally the day of my screener. I get an email. Hey, all theaters, everything. Oh my fucking god! Listen, and that same day, I was supposed to do Mulan and Quiet Place back to back. They were doing the screeners both the same day.
So listen, so for me, it sounds like you had a good week before the lockdown there, Ren. So I don't you dare tease us. What are you doing? No.
It's just so you can see it's my old intro. It's not even the one I got right now. It's the old intro.
So the week before it happened here, I went to Vegas with my friends for like a big friends trip. So we flew out there, then skipped over to LA and did the Mulan movie premiere. We did Disneyland, and then the world closed down. And I was like, well, I got to do Disney. I got to do a movie premiere. Like you think in Vegas, those are things you would never do if COVID was like I was around all these people. Oh, and then flew across the country. It's like, oh, thank goodness I didn't get it.
You didn't even know you were doing all those things before you couldn't anymore.
And it was literally 2 days after we went to Disneyland. Disneyland closed. The day I was flying home.
My sister went to Disneyland the last 4 days it was open. And I was like, because I was supposed to go in April. I was so pissed because I had all my money saved. I was gonna build a lightsaber. Like I was hyped out of my mind. And then it's just like, yeah, no, that's not.
And Disneyland is still closed. Yeah. Disney World is open,
which is insane.
I've been there since, and it was.
I want to go. Was it good?
I felt safer there than anywhere else because I mean, even if your mask is like a little below your nose, like I saw a little kid with it below their nose, and the cast member was like, you need to put that above your nose or you have to leave, to like this 7-year-old. So like they're so strict. And actually one girl was in line, she kept pulling it down, her mask down on her chin every time someone wasn't around. And finally they told her, they said, this is the 4th time I've seen you do it. Next time you're out of the park and you're banned from Disney World. I was like, oh, so they're serious. And there's like hand sanitizer before the ride that you have to put on. This was back in August. I don't know if it's still the same.
It's
and
still
then when you
my
get
friend
off,
just went. So
they have it that you can use. But before it's like you have to do the hand sanitizer before you even get on the ride. So
Wow. Haha, put your mask on. Oh
my god. If you don't wear a mask, you're gonna
die. I'll beat your ass. Thoughts on the Sparrow Academy cast? Which member are you most excited for? Probably the Cube. The Cube is the one I'm most intrigued about. But man, Genesis Rodriguez is in it, so I'm in. I'm a sucker for Genesis Rodriguez. How about you? Do you watch Umbrella Academy, Tessa?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do, but I haven't looked into I saw the Sparrow Academy cast stuff, but I haven't looked much into it because I was in like WandaVision world, and then I just forgot to go back and look at it.
Yeah, it kind of came and went. No one's talking about it.
No, I was like first timing to announce it.
But honestly,
I think it's because nobody knows anyone, because they announced it. Took me a while to notice. Oh, that's Genesis Rodriguez. But apart from that, I don't know anyone. And then I suddenly know, there's a Cube.
Netflix is gonna attempt the week-to-week thing this year.
You think so?
With the show, and I guarantee it'll be with Stranger Things. I guarantee it's gonna be with Stranger Things.
Wow. Okay.
And then if it goes well, they'll do Umbrella Academy. Because look how I did for The Boys.
Well, what does that mean for people who get Netflix screeners? Do we still get the whole?
I think you do, because Zach got screeners for The Boys. He got the whole season before the show came out. I only got the first 3.
Well, I think that, dude, I think
didn't get any, but I didn't. I wasn't in with Amazon then.
But high key, I think they messed up on mine because everyone else I know didn't get the full season.
Really?
I think they. No.
Most
people got 1 through 5. Most people got 1 through 5.
Okay.
I got the whole
season. I have 1 through 9. I don't have the 10th one yet.
Well, see, like, so I have the Servant, but they only gave us 1 through 7.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Which
are you getting? Tessa, for the expense, are you getting like weekly the episodes, like a week ahead?
Like early December, I got 1 through 9. I've watched them all. I have my review schedule. They go on so week because that was the easiest way to do it. Yeah. And I'm still waiting on 10, and I check every day. They just said you'll get it closer to the finale.
Yeah, because for the boys, when I asked, it was like 3 weeks before the first episode came out, or the first 3, because the first 3 came out the same day. And so I got the 3, but then I reviewed the 3, but then the week that the first 3 were about to come out, I got 4, and then on the week that 4 was coming out, I got 5, and so on. So
that's how like Stargirl and Doom Patrol was for me.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, we got lots of people saying that Zach's girlfriend should watch Indiana Jones. We got a lot of support, so show your girlfriend this. Christian Muhlenberg is here. Joe Fletcher, thoughts on the rumor that Robert Downey Jr. will play Thrawn? It's been debunked. What has been confirmed is that he has met with Lucasfilm, but not about playing Thrawn. Zach actually sent me this because I don't know. I guess I'm the Thrawn specialist. Zach sent me this when it was first.
Twitter profile picture is freaking Thrawn.
Yes. It's Thran. Thran. It's Grand Admiral Thran, Thrawn's younger brother. But Zach sent me this, and I'm like, I hate this. This is an awful choice. Not that I don't love Robert Downey Jr.
If he did get casted, would you give him the benefit of the doubt?
Of course. It's just.
I hope he does the exact same accent as Doolittle.
Of course, as Thrawn, it's the only thing to do. Who should play Reverse Flash and Green Arrow in the DCU? These are good questions. For me, Reverse Flash, Anthony Starr, which is a great choice, and Green Arrow, Charlie Hunnam or Brett Dalton. I'm gonna keep your Charlie Hunnam for Green Arrow. I want Anthony Starr to be Norman Osborn. So for Reverse Flash, I'm gonna raise you a Dan Stevens.
Oh, I have mine for Reverse Flash. I want Michael C. Hall from Dexter. I want him to be Reverse Flash. So him or Matthew McConaughey. I think McConaughey could run that role. But I also want McConaughey as Norman Osborn though. So
yeah. How about you, Tessa? Do you have any dream castings?
No, I'm not big on like Green Arrow. I know. I need to go back. I need to try again. I need to try.
Good for you.
But Flash and Green, as I've always been like I don't mind them, but I don't like. But I do like all the actors you guys have mentioned. So
all right. So we got the approval. We got a question about Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie is set. We talked about that a little bit. What else we got? We're almost at the 2-hour mark, so
Yeah,
let's 3 more great questions.
Perfect.
3 more.
And if they're not good questions, I mean, don't ask them, guys. Just kidding.
There is a bad question. There is a such thing as a bad question.
There is.
Okay, this is cool. What is the most overrated and underrated MCU film? I got my answer for underrated. I got my answer for overrated.
Let's have Tessa start.
Ooh,
okay.
All right. Overrated. All right, let's go underrated. And listen, so many people are going to hate me for this, but I really liked Captain Marvel a lot, and so many people didn't. And I love that movie because it brings in the Skrulls, and there's going to be. I just think it was so underrated. And people Brie got way too much hate, and it's
She didn't need any of that hate.
No, she didn't. It was dumb. She's not wrong when she says, "I walk into a press room and there's a bunch of white male journalists," because I've been in there, and it's true. So she's not. But anyways, I digress. But she didn't deserve any of that, and I think it unfortunately took its toll on the movie, which it shouldn't have, and I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
So I think that one is underrated. Overrated. That's hard because I'm one of those people who like every Marvel movie. I don't think there's anything wrong with, like Zach said, right? There's ones that are not my favorite, but like I just watched Iron Man 2 again the other day, and I was like, there's good parts of this. It's not completely awful. So overrated is really hard, but I'm gonna go.
I think me and Ren have the same one.
Oh, this is so hard because I really
overrated.
Yeah.
No, we don't have the same one. I assure you.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Ren, what's your overrated then? Just say it.
Yeah.
I like this movie. I, in fact, really like this movie. It's still overrated. The first Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, you're wrong. You're so wrong. You're incorrect.
That's Zach's favorite MCU movie. So when he said we have the same one, I was like, I assure we don't.
You know what I'm gonna go with for overrated? Oh gosh, you guys are gonna hate me. I'm gonna go the first Doctor Strange.
Okay. I mean, I actually thought
look at my arm. My arm is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's really cool.
Okay.
That's really cool.
So, and James Gunn's signature with it.
Oh, nice.
Actually, Ren, I almost quit the show.
You should.
I would never let you. I got you a contract for 8 movies, so you have to.
So now my most underrated is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Just kidding. No, just kidding. My overrated is Thor Ragnarok. I don't get it.
Really?
I don't get it. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. It's funny. I don't know. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, there's too many jokes. I don't like saying that, but there really are too many jokes.
Taika. That's why.
Yeah, and I love Taika. I loved everything else he's ever done except Thor Ragnarok. And I guarantee Love and Thunder I'm going to love. I really think I'm going to love that film because he's on it from day one. It's his idea. I don't think the jokes will get in the way of that. And here's the thing. If Thor Love and Thunder is more of a comedy, that's fine because Ragnarok, I don't think should have been a comedy at all. That's a really dark story. Underrated though, Iron Man 3. Don't get the hate. Love the film.
I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe I'll go back and rewatch it. You're always like,
I was actually gonna go with I actually agree with Zach on Thor Ragnarok, and the reason I agree with Zach on Thor Ragnarok is because my most underrated MCU film is the first Thor, because I adore that movie so freaking much. I know I'm alone.
I was gonna have to talk to you, but the first thing I can go with.
I love that movie so much. I think it's such a beautiful, well-told story. Kenneth Branagh does amazing. It's the best movie he's done in a while. It's my favorite movie of his that he's done in a while.
Breaking news.
Here we go.
News. It's not big, but Ridley Scott's Kit Bull is officially in the works at Apple TV Plus with Joaquin Phoenix set to star as Napoleon Bonaparte. Filming will begin in early 2022. I know some people are really excited for that. I'm not.
Isn't Joaquin Phoenix really tall?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's taller than me.
They can DC. He probably cut his legs off or something for that.
Phoenix height.
He would do it. He's a method actor there.
Oh no, he's about the size of Napoleon. He's shorter than me. I didn't know that. I don't know how much he is in feet. He should be like 5'9", Joaquin Phoenix.
That's actually shorter than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I thought it was like 6'3" or something. All right, that was a really good question. Let's go. Tyler Calvert is here. Thank you for being here, Tyler. Ooh, this is a good question. I probably have the same answer. Which director gives you the best theatrical experience? For me, it's Nolan. I might. Because if we're talking director, if we weren't talking director, every time I go see a Marvel movie, an MCU movie. But director, it is probably I
have to go with Nolan on that because you just.
I have to go with Nolan too because he's done the most movies out of the two people I'm thinking of, but Denis Villeneuve is getting up there.
I'm gonna be different. I wasn't even thinking Denis yet, because Arrival blew me away. But Arrival and Blade Runner are the only films I've seen of him. Oh, and Sicario. Those are the only films I ever saw in theaters from him. I need to see Dune. But if I'm gonna go a little bit different, I'm gonna say Tarantino.
Okay.
Or Scorsese. I don't know, because Scorsese like blows me away every time too. Like when I saw Wolf of Wall Street in the theaters, like that film just like knocked me back. Silence knocked me. I don't know. There's a lot of great directors. And I would even give a shout out to Catherine Bigelow. I wish she made more films because all of her films also great theater experiences. James Cameron too. I don't care what you guys say about the man. He loves his Blue People, and his Blue People movie, great theater.
We don't
experience.
need Blue People movie. It's been way too long. We don't.
I need all the Blue People movie.
I mean, it's been so long. I don't care anymore.
Same. Newt saying Ren's story of Suicide Squad is his villain origin story. Bet your ass it is.
Sounds like
where else we got? Last question. We got. This is a good one. Let's finish off on this one. Sound of Metal or it's actually easy for me, but I want to see the debate. Honestly, it could go either way. Let's start with you, Tessa, because you didn't say it was easy. So let's let you go first.
The only one I've seen is Sound of Metal, so I can't.
You've never seen Whiplash?
No, but now I feel like I have to.
I'm jealous. I wish I could see that for the first time again.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna write it down. Where's my list? I'm gonna write it down along with this Star Wars clone.
I think it's on Netflix. I'll look at it.
Is it?
It might be. I love Whiplash.
So I can't. So we would have to say Sound of Metal.
Just don't watch it around your kids.
Well,
definitely do not watch this film around your kids. It's on Stars. It's streaming on Stars right now.
Stars? I think I have some. I'm gonna write that down. So I'll check it out. So I can't say.
Yeah. Have you seen? We were talking to Denis Villeneuve. That's why I thought of this movie. Have you seen his movie Prisoners? Okay, that is one you don't want to watch in front of your kids. Yeah. That is one I don't know if you want to watch if you have kids.
Yeah, Ren, that's one, and I don't know.
Because you're just, after you watch the movie, you're all going to sleep on the same bed, holding each other tight.
Oh, jeez, it's one of those. Listen, anything where something happens to kids is hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I was just curious, because I don't know many people who can have that perspective. But the first time I watched the movie, I don't want to be a dad.
Friend, it's funny. My friend had a kid 2 years ago, and
still
they
has
asked me for a film. Yeah, so they asked me for a film they should watch, and they're like, "We really liked Sicario." I'm like, "Oh, you should watch Prisoners." Not even thinking about the kid. And he texted me the day after. He goes, "I hate you." He goes, "I went in and held my kid the whole night we were sleeping." He goes, "I just." Do you know anything that it's about?
No, I know nothing.
It's about
go blind. No, go blind. Oh, we can tell you who's in it because it's Hugh Jackman, Viola Davis, Paul Dano. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
When did it come out?
2013.
Oh, all right.
I remember
the year my daughter was born. That 2013, and any year that I had a kid born, which was 2011 and 2013, I saw almost no movies because it was just difficult to do.
I remember I did a double feature with Prisoners and and Captain Phillips. One right after the other because they came out the same day for me, and heavy double feature.
The last time I did a double feature, I never did one again in theaters. Well, I did a triple. I did Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, and Phantom Thread. And each film I started liking less. Well, I love Call Me by Your Name, but I Darkest Hour I thought was overrated. And again, it could be just because I was tired. And Phantom Thread.
It is.
Nah, and then by the time you got to that one, you were like, I'm done.
Answering the question before I forget, Whiplash for me. I really do like Sound of Metal, but Whiplash is just.
I'm going to say this. Material. I love Whiplash more, but I think Riz Ahmed is better than Miles Teller.
I can agree with that. Yeah, for sure. He's not better than J.K. Simmons, though.
No, J.K. Simmons is amazing in the film. That's why he won an Oscar.
All right, that's it for Geeks of the Roundtable for today. Tessa, thank you so much for joining us on this edition. I'll announce in a bit what else you and I will be doing very soon. But until then, again, thank you for joining us. And where can people find you? What do you have coming up?
You guys can find me, Mama's Geeky, here on YouTube, but also on all social media. It's all Mama's Geeky. You can see, but Mama is spelled M-A-M-A because I know there's tons of ways to spell it. You can also check me out at mamasgeeky.com. And, well, in just 30 minutes, my WandaVision review will be dropping, so you can check that out. I have some exciting interviews coming up that I'm not allowed to talk about, and some exciting press days that I'm not allowed, virtual press days that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. So, you know, those things.
All right. All of Tessa's links are in the description. Well, our website and YouTube, and I'm sure you can find the rest. It's all Mama's Geeky. Thank you so much, Tessa. Zach, what do you have coming up? Where can people find you?
I don't know. Next week's weird. I saw someone put in there that Malcolm and Marie might be coming out next week on theaters. So I wasn't planning on doing that review for a while, which sucks because I'm actually doing a video essay for that one. So now I got to write that. You know, I'm told myself I'll start a Twitch channel soon. I have my Twitch up. It's just I need to do it. Yeah. And then same thing with just reviews. Next week's a little bit light unless the Malcolm Marie thing comes out, but it's still light. Like this week I had like a video every single week, or every single day. But you know, like I'm just going with the flow now. Like whatever film comes my way. Oh, I'm seeing a film tonight, but I can't. Or wait, tomorrow night, but I can't talk about it.
Tell me in the private chat.
Okay. No. Okay. But yeah, so just come subscribe to me if you want to talk more movies and life.
Oh, cool.
Or just anything. So,
Tessa, can you see the private chat?
Let me look over. Oh,
that's.
I'm actually really excited for it.
Yeah,
I will be watching Locked Down tonight because it's out on HBO Max.
No, just kidding.
And my housemates and I are just curious because we're from London. The film is set in London. You know, I'll also be having a review up for The Mauritanian, which I just watched. I was going to say another review, but that can't come out until the 31st. But I can say Earwig and the Witch will be coming out on the 31st of January. I was too. That's all.
Oh, no. We'll have to talk later.
I saw it too.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So maybe I shouldn't be jealous. You guys got to see it.
No, be jealous. It's amazing. Studio Ghibli, send me more stuff. And this Sunday we'll be shooting tomorrow, but Tessa will be the next guest on the return edition of Origin Story Podcast. We'll be doing that tomorrow after you see our WandaVision videos coming out. And the video will be up on Sunday, I think. So in half an hour, what time is it for you guys for you, Tessa? Noon. So it will on Sunday. The video will come out at noon Tessa time, and Zach, I believe 10 your time.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. So Tessa, so noon Tessa time and 10 Zach time on Sunday will be the release of the next episode of Origin Story. And that is it. Stay tuned for everything we got coming up, everyone. Thank you so much for your questions, for watching, for chatting with us. So until the next one, love each other and love the movies.